Hi, my name is Cliff, and today I'm gonna make a video on how to purchase a laptop. And before I start, I just want to let you know that if you hear some kids screaming or crying in the background, those are my two toddlers. They're just outside and my wife is watching them. So please bear with the background noises. But okay, so talking about the laptop, my focus is for people who are not computer savvy. So you do not know anything computers, you don't care about what's inside computers, you just want what works, right? And your budget is about $100 Canadian or Sing, so which is about 750 US dollars. You're looking for a machine that will last you to 3 to 5 years. Most of the time you're using office work, Outlook, Word, Express, Gmail, or watching YouTube, right? Nothing too fancy. You're not doing gaming, you're not doing programming, you're not doing database crunching or some virtual machine, right? Because if you're looking for that, you're going to look for something that's probably will cost a lot more than that. Okay, so I'm going to just talk a bit about the internals, then the externals, and then what to look for and what I suggest you to consider. Okay, so first thing first is look at the internals. A lot of times you go to a store or you go online, they will say that this is the latest chip, latest Intel, Intel, now it's a 10th generation chip, right? The CPU, right? So for most office work, i5 is more than enough. There's like different generation. There's like 8, 9, 10. I mean, every year it comes, Intel comes with new chips and whatnot. I would say between the 9th to 10th generation, not much of a difference. So right now in September 2020, if you find a model from last year, which is they're selling on the 9th generation chip, a model pretty, good deal. Consider it because 9th to 10th generation, not much difference. If you're looking for AMD Ryzen 4000 series came out earlier this year, definitely take a look at those because those are really hot right now, very efficient, a lot of cores, good for your usage. Now when it comes to RAM, it comes in different sizes, 4 gigs, 8 gigs, 12, 16, and so on. I wouldn't suggest 4 gigs, it's barely enough to run Windows and any programs. So 8 gigs is sufficient, and anything else is more than enough for you. Okay, and in terms of hard drive size, highly suggested get a solid state drive, call it SSD, and get the size wise 128, 512, and 128, 256, 512 gigs. The more size is, the more stuff you're holding it. Now if you're holding like office work files and stuff, most of the time it doesn't need that big of a size of a hard drive. And most of the time, to be honest, you use like OneDrive or Google Drive and whatnot. Everything's stored in the cloud, so you don't need to put everything on your hard drive. But if you're doing a lot of pictures or videos, then bigger size definitely help. Okay, so in general, if you're looking at this price point, $1,000, you're looking at an i5 laptop with 8 gigs RAM and 512 gigs of solid state drive. That's what I see most out there right now for $1,000. Pretty good. Okay, second point is about upgradability. Really, the only thing with a laptop you can upgrade is either your RAM or your hard drive. Okay, most laptop can do both, but the smaller ones like the 13-inch, like this one, a 13-inch, can only do sometimes they solder the drive, the hard drive or the RAM on it, so you cannot upgrade. So just check that if you need to upgrade. I think upgrading the hard drive should be minimal because hard drive prices drop year by year, and you get bigger size in the future, right? So but you're not going to upgrade, don't worry about it, it's not a big deal. Now the thing that most people don't talk about when it comes to looking for a laptop or review laptops is how the keyboard feels, and the keyboard is very personal. So for me, I suggest for people who are looking for a laptop is to go to the store and walk around, find a model you like or find a model that you are interested in, and do some testing with it. Type like a paragraph, 2 paragraphs, a page, just to how that feels, how the keyboard feels. I'll give an example. So this is my wife's X1 Lenovo's X1 Carbon laptop. So I know that at that time when I decided to purchase this one for her, I know that she wants something small. She's not going to carry a big clunky one because she moves around from office to work, to probably shop at home and so on. And the only question is, I don't know if she likes the keyboard So this is what I do. I don't have the laptop with me, but I know a store that sells the previous model. Same, it's also the X1. This is the 5th generation. So laptop keyboard usually doesn't change that much. So I have her come with me, go to the store and take a look at the laptop, go on it, do some clicking, hit some here. Make sure your keys are all there that you want it to be, your hotkeys, so your page up, page down, up, those things are all there. It's easy to type. My experience is that I had a Fujitsu a while ago, and it's a great laptop at that time. The specs are really good for what it is, what I was looking for. The only problem is the keyboard was not good. It was too shallow, so I always make typos, so which make it very frustrating, and I cannot upgrade the keyboard, so you're stuck with it. So if you're doing a lot of spreadsheets or numbers, you can take a look at getting a laptop with a number pad. That's probably the 15-inch and above, right? So that's something to consider as well. Also, take a look at the touchpad, which is this little thing here. Make sure that it clicks well. When you type, this doesn't get in the way. These things like that. Now, another point when it comes to looking for a laptop is size and weight. Now, this is also very subjective, depending on what you need, what you're looking for, how comfortable you are. So, I suggest when you go to the store, actually bring a bag that you normally use. Or if you're a student, university student, bring a backpack with some of the textbooks. Or if you're traveling for work, bring your work bag. Put your normal notes or binders or something in there. And then see if you can put a laptop in it. I'm sure the salesman doesn't mind. Put a laptop in it and carry it with you. Carry it, just not walk away from the store obviously, but carry it, just have the feel of it. Is it too heavy? Is it just sizes right? Does the laptop actually fit into your bag? Like this one is a 13-inch, so it's fairly light, not very small. But when it comes to this one here, this is my previous laptop, this is my 15-inch. This one is quite big and is a lot heavier, right? If you put in a laptop sleeve, that's going to be like another inch or 2 inches on the side, an inch or so, an inch and a half. And make sure that it fits well. If it doesn't fit in your bag, then you either have to get a new bag or you find something smaller. And that I think is very important because as a laptop, carry it, travel with it. Make sure that you're not tired from carrying it. And so, make sure that it fits you, the size, the keyboard feel, and the weight is just right for you. Now, screen-wise, I wouldn't say too much other than is it bright enough for you? Is it colorful? Those are also very subjective. Is it high resolution? I'm just gonna talk a bit more of the next part of the ports. USB ports, there are two types. There's a USB-A, which is the standard, the old, these are the rectangular ones. And then there's a USB-C, which are the smaller ones. Make sure that if you are using a keyboard, a wireless mouse, or even a wireless keyboard, the transmitter, you have to make sure you have a USB-A, right? Because if not, then or you gotta get an adapter, which is a bit inconvenience, not very good, but still, having enough ports is important. And go online and check the reviews on the laptop. Make sure that it has a battery life. Is it sufficient for your use? Of course, that's also subjective, but it's generally is it sufficient? And if there are any big issues with that laptop that you need to keep your eye, be aware of it. In general, I think in general, when you look at the laptops, there are 13-inch, 14-inch, 15-inch. I'm sure there's 16-inch, 17-inch too. More like 17-inch. Most of them are 15-inch or so. And you can tell there's quite a difference. So this is my 15-inch. This is a XPS 15. And so when it comes to my current laptop, which is Asus G14, this is a 14-inch. This is a 15-inch. And you can tell, just by looking at it, there's a difference. There's a difference in weight, there's a different size. And also when it comes to this, my wife's 13-inch Lenovo X1. It makes a difference. It adds up. And so make sure that you pick the right size for you. If you're working on a lot of spreadsheets, smaller laptop may not work so well for you because you need the screen size to see your spreadsheets and whatnot. You're comparing two different documents. But if you're just typing Word, email, and whatnot, this works great. It doesn't you don't have to worry too much. So Another thing that a lot of people will not talk about is warranty. So when you purchase a laptop, I suggest highly you get a warranty. Usually it covers for 1 year or 2 years. I would suggest you look at maybe it's possible extend to 3 years or even 4 years. I know like companies like Dell, they can do that. They can extend it up to 4 even 5 years, depending on how much you're willing to pay. But please, even if your budget is tight, please consider extending your warranty at least up to 3 years. The reason is laptops are complicated machines and they will break down, right? The problem is that when they break down, it's hard to find parts. They're very expensive. So if a motherboard breaks down, usually it's going to be like $500, $600, $700. And if that's the case, you might as well buy a new laptop, right? And if you want to avoid the headache of doing that, just spend $100, $200 just to get extended warranty. I have it for my previous Dell laptop and it works great. I had it for 5 years, and the 4th year I was actually in Africa. I was in Uganda. So I bought it in Singapore. We went to Uganda for living there for a while, and you know what? The motherboard broke down. It still works. It just wouldn't charge the battery. So because it was still under warranty, because I purchased extended warranty, Dell actually shipped a motherboard to one of the support company in Uganda. And the guy, the technician came all the way to my house. He placed the motherboard, fixed the laptop, all free. Well, not free. I mean, I paid for warranty for it. But my point is that, like, if you have no warranty, I'm not. I just have to buy another laptop. That's the reality, right? So that's something to consider when it comes to purchasing a laptop. I think that's about it. I think, one more point is just don't go for like the, when they advertise the best CPU, the brightest screen, or like the lightest laptop out there, because there's so many factors that come into play. The CPU, there's a weight, there's a size, keyboard, good battery life, warranty, you have the USB ports, is it fits what you need to do, and this is all subjective depending on what you need to do for your work or for home. So I hope this video is helpful. If you have any comments or suggestions, please feel free to put them in. And I hope that when you make a purchase for your laptop, it will be a machine that will last you for at least 3 years. 3 years would be a pretty good idea, almost to 5 years if you take good care of it and it doesn't break down. Okay, so I hope you have a good day. Take care. Goodbye.